Hello, this is Dr. Barry Susser again, talking about diet and alternative medicine. I just talked about my granddaughter's book, Haley Mason Nagelson and her fiance, Bill Staley, wrote this beautiful book. I'll show it again real quick. Uh, this is Make It Paleo. Uh, if I could figure out how to put it so, there it is, Make It Paleo. This is about the paleo diet. I just talked about that. So what I want to talk about is an offshoot of that, which is the Seale Harris diet, or the hypoglycemia diet. Seale Harris was a great innovator back in the 1920s in Alabama. He created a diet which would combat hypoglycemia. And I learned about this from Carlton Fredericks, who was one of the great advocates of dealing with hypoglycemia in the modern population. What is hypoglycemia? Hypo means low or small, and glyce is sugar, and emia is blood. So low blood sugar. Well, that doesn't sound so bad. It's not as bad as diabetes, right? Is it the opposite of diabetes? No, it isn't the opposite of diabetes. Diabetes is high blood sugar, and in that respect, it's opposite. But the metabolism and how the body deals with sugar and digestion of nutrients in general is not opposite. Diabetes, you don't have good insulin metabolism. Insulin drives the sugar into the cells and helps burn the sugar for energy. That's one of the functions of insulin. They talk about insulin dysfunction or hyperinsulinism, where the insulin isn't working well enough. And that is almost certainly part of hypoglycemia. The important thing to remember is that hypoglycemia is the result of what I call a junk diet. And this junk diet could be in the most elegant restaurants in the world. It's not just going to a fast food place and getting junk. You can get terrible hypoglycemic causing junk food in the very best restaurants and the very best markets in the world. So it's not a question of money and quality. It's a question of the type of processing and growth of the product. So to me, one of the worst inventions of history, the history of nutrition, has been sugar. The average American eats, you'll hear different estimates of this, but the average American eats something like 125 pounds of sugar a year. It might be as high as 150. If you get up to 150, you're getting almost in the range of a half pound of sugar a day. Well, if you have a soft drink, an 8-ounce soft drink has 7 or 8 teaspoons of sugar in it. So it's not hard to see when you start looking at those elements how much sugar we have and why is sugar damaging. Sugar is an example of bad food processing and bad food choice. Sugar is about 10% of sugar cane or sugar beet. So if you eat a piece of sugar cane, or you eat a piece of sugar beet, you're getting 10% sugar, and the rest of it is nourishing food. The rest of it is fiber and vitamins and minerals and proteins. So it's not all. So that's what happens when you eat high quality food. That's what I'm talking about, high quality. When you take sugar out of the sugar cane or out of the sugar beet, you refine it to a point where it's 99+% sugar. And that sugar to burn as energy requires cofactors. It requires enzymes and protein and fiber. And so it requires all these things to burn and produce energy properly. Well, this is basic stuff that many, many people know, but I didn't know it when I got out of medical school. Now, I didn't know it when I was raising my kids at first. It took a great revelation from Carlton Fredericks to me to realize that I was eating really poor quality food when I was eating white bread and high sugar diet, and also caffeine and alcohol you could argue against. So there are many things in our modern diet, in our modern highly processed diet, which can cause serious medical conditions. And since I think this has gone on a bit of a long time, I'm going to mention some of these serious medical conditions, such as, well, hypoglycemia, but certainly simple everyday things like the common cold, and certainly things like arthritis and hypertension, and maybe heart disease. There is a condition where sugar damages the heart with a substance called AGEs, advanced glycosylated end products. So the glycated means sugar. And in this process, we do it every day. We eat sugar. We have toxic metals like lead, cadmium, mercury in the body. They somehow cause the sugar to hook on to other substances in the body and make a relatively insoluble compound which will deposit in the arteries and in other tissues in the body and damage our circulation and make us much more prone to heart disease, hypertension, and other vascular conditions. So what I'm trying to do is spend a few minutes to delve into topics that deserve hours of discussion and hours of learning. But I just wanted to give you an idea of the scope of the problem and how much of it we understand and how much of it we don't understand. So thank you.